Welcome back all to another episode on Real Talk with KC. I do hope that you have been enjoying our recent videos in our diversity series. Today everyone, Real Talk with KC is on the streets. I stumbled across a man by the name of Charles that is so beautifully talented. He plays the piano so beautifully. I had to stop and say hello. I inquired a bit more about Charles, and Charles advised, he shared with me that he was homeless, that he was sleeping in the shelters. And I wondered, why, Charles? Why, if you play so beautifully, if you have such a talent, why is it that you are homeless? And then Charles decided to share his story with us. People, you do not want to miss this. Welcome back everyone to another episode of Real Talk with KC. Today we have a special guest by the name of Charles. Charles is homeless and would like to share briefly his story with us. Say hello, Charles.
Hello. Hello, Charles. Hello, Charles.
And Charles, tell us, I know that you mentioned that you are homeless. About how many years would you say that you have been without a home?
Off and on, over a decade.
Wow. Well, you still look pretty healthy and you still look pretty strong, Charles.
Still, a bit hard on my body. It's hard because you have to carry things that you shouldn't necessarily have to.
Absolutely. Charles, tell us, why are you homeless? What do you think is the main reason you've been on the streets?
My mental illness oftentimes has led me far astray from, I don't know, totally out of my control.
Have you?
I have no control over my situation, my circumstance.
Absolutely.
And each and every day, and just trying to have relationships with friends and being the best that I can be.
Absolutely.
And it's so easy, and that's a good thing, because nothing worthwhile in life comes easy.
Have you been diagnosed with an illness?
Way back when, I'm 62 years old now. Back when I was 23,
yes.
I had a mental health episode, mental illness episodes.
Okay.
There's a whole lot to that. And I have schizophrenia from the
I understand.
No, I'm not scared.
No.
I'm not paranoid, but it is a cuckoo kind of thing.
Understood. You play the piano so beautifully. I mean, you play as a precise professional. Why is it that you could not continue your professional career?
I'm not welcome at places I want to go when I'm homeless. It's quite discouraging. I need uplifted. I need support in that. And Chris, in actuality, not everybody hears it. Nobody wants to hear it. Mm-hmm. They're off into their own life.
Understood. World. Have you ever been discriminated against because of you being homeless or because of your illness?
All the time. They look at me in scorn and despise, and hardly ever encouraging words. It's hard not to feel good when people continue. It's really disheartening.
Yes, of course.
It's upsetting the way that, for me, I'll say myself, I'm misunderstood, I'm mistreated, hotels mismanaged me, I'm took, the whole lot of this. I really have a confusion in comparison with me and amongst others. I'd love to speak for everybody.
Yes.
I have to speak for myself pretty much and say that It's a long way. It's a long way to where I'm going to. Little River Bend.
I am
Little River Bend.
I am so sorry to hear about of the challenges that you were faced with because of your illness. I can come here and stand here today and tell you that when I heard you playing that piano, I automatically gravitated towards you. And I said, this man has a story that needs to be heard. And so I thank you for sharing that with us today. Do you have the support of your family?
Yeah, yes and no. I got patched things up. A sibling rivalry.
Okay.
My sister. I'm worried about her.
Understood.
But man, I struggle each and day with the little things.
Yes.
Telephone, guitar gone, back in the shelter. You really can't hold on to things for overnight.
Yes.
The shoes are gone.
Yes. Have you tried seeking medical help, Charles?
As far as medically, thank God, I got my second wind, and that I'm for mostly overall, I'm healthy. I sort of use some virtual over the phone psychotherapy.
Yes, understood.
But most of all, we need contributions, charitable contributions, and actually can't just stop right there. Let me finish. And so you just can't stop there. I do have a model that there's only so much a person can do to help out people in need.
Yes.
But there's so much more we can do.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's just an encouraging word that one needs to hear.
As you and I, we need to talk with one another.
Exactly.
Yeah, good. Hey, pleasure confiding.
What would you like to say to the people out there that have discriminated against you?
Well, the discrimination.
Tell them. They're right there. Tell them. What would you like to say?
You and I both know discrimination or the hate that within your heart and retaliation. It comes from you. That's on you. If you care to kick people to the curb, if you care to make enemies instead, just peacefully be polite and be good people and cordial. If you ain't cordial, can't have acquaintances, and tend to not make friends but enemies, then there's a problem there with the person acting out.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a saying, Charles, it's your day today, but it could be their day tomorrow. And so we must be careful how we treat one another as a people. Okay? Let us continue to respect each and every person for their differences, embrace their differences, and let us show that respect to one another. Love your story. I love your story. Has someone give us an example of an episode that you had with your illness, your schizophrenia illness?
Hog died by the police. Over 5 years ago. I've been pretty well. Fairly well code for, no really trouble with the law.
Okay. Did it make you a different person when it's triggered?
Just treated belittled. I'm just going to say belittled by people that consider them absolute power corrupts absolutely, and that there's this power trip over me. I'm under some of these society's thumbs.
Well, Charles, I have to tell you, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us today. Okay, on today's episode.
It's been really a pleasure.
Yes, I think it was very important for us all to hear that story of yours. I think we take for granted the day-to-day activities, waking up in the morning and driving to work and going to work. We take all of these things for granted. You did not expect to have schizophrenia, but it was something that developed, and it has affected your life. But I can say that from what I have seen, the sky is the limit for you, especially with you playing that piano. People, if you hear Charles playing that piano, you would be very, very impressed. And so that's why we must all continue to respect each other, regardless of our differences, our backgrounds and differences. All right? Thank you so much for joining us for another episode on Real Talk with KC. We are out here on the streets, and we are speaking with Charles today. Charles is sharing his very touching story with us. Charles, thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, Charles.
The pleasure's mine. No, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you very much, Chris.
Absolutely. Tell everyone goodbye, Charles.
So long, farewell. I'll be say, when you say, bonjour, monsieur.